Here is an in-depth report of Ohio government actions for August 12, 2026, based on the available results. The strongest documented activity for that date centers on the executive branch, the judiciary, and state enforcement actions. Legislative coverage in the provided results is limited, so any legislative section below is constrained to what is directly supported by the sources. Executive actions and administrative developments. Governor Mike DeWine responded to severe weather by activating the Ohio National Guard's High Water Rescue Unit and declaring emergencies in Muskingum County and Perry County. According to a report published on August 12, 2026, the same report says the governor urged residents to use common sense during the storms, indicating an active state emergency response posture on that date. For the Ohio Department of Development and the DeWine administration announced that the Brownfield Remediation Program application window would open on August 11, 2026, with about $120 million available for cleanup of contaminated properties. Although this announcement was made the day before, it was part of the state's active August 12 policy environment and remained relevant on that date. The application period was set to run from 10 a.m. August 11 through 5 p.m. Friday, September 11, the Ohio Department of Behavioral Health, together with the Ohio Department of Higher Education, launched the Ohio Behavioral Health Scholarship Program in that same period to expand the pipeline of licensed behavioral health professionals serving children, youth, and underserved communities. The program was described as a new statewide initiative, and the report places it within the week of August 12. The Ohio Arts Council approved 1,013 awards totaling about $23.2 million across multiple grant programs, which the cited report describes as the largest single round of awards in the council's history. The source places this action in the same week as August 12, but the exact approval date is not stated in the result. Legislative activity. The provided results do not include a clear, directly supported Ohio General Assembly floor action, committee hearing, or bill passage dated August 12, 2026, beyond a House Journal entry for that date. 7. Because the journal result is not expanded in the search snippet. The specific legislative actions that occurred that day cannot be fully reconstructed from the supplied material alone. 7. One related legislative item mentioned in the results is House Bill 246, the E-Verify Workforce Integrity Act, which had already been signed by Governor DeWine and was described as becoming effective on March 19, 2026. That action is not an August 12, 2026 event, so it is not counted as a same-day development, but it shows the type of labor and construction enforcement policy active in Ohio that year. 10. Judicial action. The Supreme Court of Ohio issued a decision in Camara v. Gill Dairy, LLC on August 12, 2026. The court held that a dairy worker did not have to prove his employer never intended to repair or replace damaged farm equipment in order to claim that his injuries were caused by a part missing its safety guards. 1. That ruling is the principal judicial action identified in the search results for the date, and it is notable because it appears to clarify the evidentiary burden in a workplace injury context involving farm equipment and safety guards. 1. Enforcement actions. Ohio Attorney General Andy Wilson announced a crackdown on organized retail crime that resulted in criminal charges against 46 suspects across the state. The announcement is explicitly dated August 12, 2026, and is the clearest statewide criminal enforcement action in the results. 2. The Attorney General also issued a statement warning consumers about storm-related scams on August 12, 2026, tying consumer protection messaging to the severe weather event affecting the state that day. 2. A further August 12 Attorney General item says the office was seeking lead plaintiff status in a securities class action lawsuit accusing Roblox of misleading investors about child safety protections on its digital platform. This is an enforcement-related civil action rather than a criminal case, but it is still a direct state legal action identified on that date. 2. The Ohio Auditor of State Keith Faber announced that his office would receive nearly $2.3 million in federal funds to further combat Medicaid fraud, drug trafficking, human trafficking, and other crimes. The news item is dated August 12, 2026 in the archive and indicates a major enforcement capacity funding development for the auditor's office. 3. Public events and public-facing government activity. The Ohio Department of Education scheduled a K-12 industry-recognized credential town hall for Thursday, August 13, 2026, which is not itself an August 12 event, but was a public-facing state education event announced in close proximity to the date in question. 8. The severe weather response itself functioned as a public government action because state officials used public messaging to direct residents to exercise caution while emergency resources were deployed. The report states that DeWine activated National Guard rescue resources and declared county emergencies in response to storms affecting Ohio. 4. What can be said with confidence about August 12, 2026? The day was dominated by three major themes in the available record: emergency management in response to storms, criminal and consumer protection enforcement by the Attorney General, and a Supreme Court ruling affecting workplace injury litigation. 124. A secondary but important policy backdrop involved ongoing state grant and workforce initiatives, including Brownfield cleanup funding, behavioral health workforce development, and a major Ohio Arts Council grant round. Though the supplied sources do not confirm all of those as occurring exactly on August 12, rather than during the surrounding week. 11. If you want, I can turn this into a chronological timeline or a categorized brief with only actions that are explicitly dated August 12, 2026.